Հարգելի ունկնդիրներ, մեկնարկել է հայ իրավաբանների համագումարի երկրորդ աշխատանքային օրը եւ արդեն իսկ ավարտվել է առաջին պանելային քննարկումը, որը նվիրված էր միջազգային հարթակներում Հայաստանի Հանրապետության եւ մեր ազգային շահերի պաշտպանությանը եւ դրանց իրավական մեխանիզմներին։ Այս պահին մեր մեդիա տաղավարում ինձ է հյուրընկալվել Գերմանահայկական իրավաբանական ասոցիացիայի խորհրդի անդամ, հակամարտությունների կարգավորման եւ բանակցությունների ոլորտի միջազգային փորձագետ, հաշտարար Տիկին Սարա Աթենա Բաբայանը, ով հանդես է եկել որպես բանախոս այս պանելային քննարկման ընթացքում, նշեմ, որ զրույցը վարելու ենք անգլերեն լեզվով. Thank you very much for joining us in our media room, and thank you very much for that fascinating speech during the panel discussion. So the discussion was dedicated to legal mechanisms and legal processes in regards to the protection of Armenian national interests. So I would like you to provide more details on the main issues that were covered during the panel discussion.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and yeah, I mean, it is very important to see like how can we present ourselves, how can Armenia present its national interests. So it was on the one hand perceived from the negotiation side in order to say like how do we have to prepare ourselves in order for really have a strategy, to know what kind of tactics to apply. And so we really need to know what are our motives, what are the real interests, why do we want to have what we want to have, until when do we want to have achieved it. So these are questions like under negotiation experts we say like the professional preparation. So you always need that in order to see where do we want to go. And the panel was also like highlighted from an economical perspective. Then there was also a panelist who talked about the rights of the child, how they can be preserved. And of course we had someone who was talking about the cultural heritage and how it can be protected. So it was all about this, but talking from a very negotiation side, like how do we present ourselves in order to implement our national interests.
Thank you very much. So may I ask, what are the ways of drafting or designing the strategy of representing ourselves, of protection of our national interest? Because you had a kind of a part of your speech dedicated exactly to that issue, that we should have a kind of a blueprint or plan, a roadmap, whatever we call it, right? To be prepared to internationally protect our national rights.
I mean, it's very interesting because most of the time when people negotiate, they think they know what they want, but I mean, seriously, they don't really know. So we have to see really what is the maximum we want to achieve. What is the minimum? Do we have a plan B? Can we take the expertise from outside? And I mean, this is why we are meeting here today, because we have so many experts from the diaspora, so many knowledge. So we have to gather this in order to build up the strategy, because this is how a strategy is built up, long term and short term. So this is the one perspective. The other one is to say, with what kind of mindset do we go inside such a negotiation? How do we present ourselves? Because I mean, Armenia always has this kind of, we are the weak ones. So if you have the best strategy, but you go into negotiation, you think I won't win because I'm the victim. You will not win the battle. You will lose, because everything in the inside of you is like going against. We won't achieve what we want. So the mindset and the narrative we are talking to ourselves is, I would say, maybe 60% of the strategy.
And I wonder, what is our narrative right now and what it should be in future? What do you think?
I think from what has happened to Artsakh and to these 120,000 people leaving Nagorno-Karabakh, I think it's like, okay, we lost the battle. We lost it in 2020, and now really it got worse and worse. So I think right now we are the victim again. In between 1994 and 2020, I would say we were like in a sleeping mode. It was like, okay, we have a kind of power, but no one really wants to negotiate. So, but now the narrative changed into a very bad one. So we have to shift that. We have to really, in order to get the power, we have to be powerful. Yeah.
And I'm going to quote you. even if we are in weak position, we should at least pretend that we are powerful. So, will you elaborate on this?
Yeah, absolutely. Because from all my expertise and from all my experience with state actors and with also clients from companies, you have to at least pretend you have the power. You have to pretend something in order to get it. And then you have the way, because everything you're doing, every action is in light of power. So you really have to take this mightiness and to really say, okay, we are powerful and we are going this way. And if you're going this way, it's, it's very successful.
But at the same time, we're powerful because of the fact that we have a great expertise.
Absolutely.
We have fascinating specialists in various spheres, especially we have fascinating lawyers that can assist in every issue. So, and you also dedicated a part of your speech to that issue. So, how should we involve that expertise in our policy, in our strategies? What's your opinion?
I would say it would be so wonderful. I don't want to say anything against the government, but I mean, we are working entirely on this cause. Since 3 years we are working in it. And we are not really, I mean, we are in the diaspora, we are doing our thing. But it's like everyone is cooking its own soup because we don't come into the government. We have to work together with the government in order to be strong. Because, I mean, maybe Armenia does not have the money like Azerbaijan to go to a legal agency and spend $20 million. But we have the expertise and we have the people. So really, if we would ally and if we would really work together, we can be so strong. So it's really like the intention to say, government, please let us in and let us help and let us build up such a strategy, but together. And I would say then we are, I mean, how powerful can a country be? I mean, we have so much experts.
And I do believe that this conference provides a kind of a possibility of that, at least to design a roadmap that we can collaborate and we can contribute to the protection of our national interests.
Absolutely.
What is there, and that is really very important. And the last question, my final question, you're also talking how to fight the lie globally and about our, let us say, powerful representation in international media. What's your stand on this? What should we do in these terms?
I mean, we have such a strong history, and everything is like it's evidently there. You know, it's not like invented or something like this. So the power, once again, is the knowledge, and we have to spread it out and always say it again and again and again until we all fall asleep, Armenians, because we know that. But the outside world doesn't know. And we don't have to be afraid to state things like there is the right to self-determination, not just because we are inventing it, but under the law of self-determination, this is a real case now. So I really think we shouldn't be afraid. We should pretend we have the power, and in the end we will have the power. And we just have to kind of smash the lies of Azerbaijan and others with the truth, because we have the truth, and the truth is our weapon, I would say.
And the law is on our side, as you mentioned during the panel discussion. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Ես հիշեցնեմ, որ մեր մեդիա տաղավարում մեծ էր հյուրընկալվել Գերմանա-հայկական իրավաբանական ասոցիացիայի խորհրդի անդամ, վեճերի կարգավորման եւ բանակցությունների ոլորտի միջազգային փորձագետ Տիկին Սարա Աթենա Բաբայանը։ Շնորհակալություն մեզ դիտելու համար։